I'm a comfort seeker, and I'm an unabashed comfort seeker. And today's video is about why I think it's not a bad idea to be this way and how it sometimes helps my career as well. So, I was having a conversation with one of my friends who lives in the US. This conversation was over video conference. And at some point, we started to discuss AI. And I said that sometimes instead of building an AI for something, we should just hire an individual person to get that job done. Because that's like way easier, right? Like you can train a person way easier than you can train an AI in that context. So that person said, humans usually have a productivity problem, while AI does not. If you ask a human to do something, they could or could not do it. Depends on their motivation level, their work ethic, and all of these things. But if you ask an AI to do a job, it will just get it done. So I said that that's probably our duty as well, or not duty, I should say. That should be our tactic as well as to how do we motivate someone to get the job done. And it's always a spectrum between using the carrot or the stick. Like carrot would be incentivizing them to do using positive, like some positive incentive, like bonus, or a stick would be like, yeah, let's say scolding them, right? So he said that he's been living in the US for a while, and he sees that American people today seek so much comfort because they've always been brought up in a strong economy, quote unquote, compared to us Indians, while Indians are often hardworking. To that, I replied that, yeah, that might be true. People in the US might be driving very expensive vehicles like a Porsche or a Lamborghini, and you need to you don't have a very high social status in the US to drive a very good car, a very comfortable car. But people in India would seek comfort in different ways. Like most of the people who, let's say, have a corporate job can afford to hire a cleaner for their house or a cook for their house or both. I myself have a cook and a cleaner at my house. And the percentage of my income that goes into paying the cook or the cleaner is so low that I would often not think twice and just hire them. I would avoid the job of cooking food every day, cleaning every day, just like making my bed, as an example. So, yeah, he was amused. He said that, yeah, you're right. And then I continued forward and I said that seeking comfort can also sometimes be good for your career because that way you are able to delegate the lower leverage tasks in your life. You're able to outsource the lower leverage tasks in your life. Let me show that to you with an example, right? Like me hiring a cleaner would be one example of that. And like, how did I end up being like this? So I went back and looked at my childhood. And I am a software engineer by profession. Uh, but my dad runs a shop in a mid-tier city, and that's where I was brought up. I used to see him running this shop for 10 to 12 hours a day for 6 days. And on the seventh day, also, he was busy with some things. And While running that shop, he was talking to folks all day, and I was an introvert, so I found it to be quite taxing to be that way. And I sometimes sat at my father's shop to learn how it is like. And towards the end of the year, I would see him having this huge pile of invoices. And it was not very digital back in the day. Now it's more digital. Back in the day, it was quite a tedious task that we would take these invoices, sort them by date, and just calculate our turnovers so that we could pay the taxes on that. So at that point, I realized that I like to live more comfortably. I don't want to spend so many hours at work. I want to have more of a life outside of work. And I don't want to do repetitive tasks. What I felt was that trading goods in a shop is quite a repetitive task. And at a very early age, I discovered programming. And I realized that programming can be used to build innovative applications. And you can keep learning new things all your life and keep building new software all your life. So it's a fairly interesting job. And the fact that when you build software, it's repeatable and you sell it to n number of customers. Like once you build a software, you can scale it to like even millions of customers or a billion customers where the big tech have reached. And you can make a huge amount of money that way. Software usually is a much higher margin business than anything hardware could be. And that's why software was a good fit for me. Because at the end of the day, I was seeking comfort. I was spending less hours. I was doing non-repetitive work. And if there was some repetitive work that I have to do, I would script it. I would write a script for it and just use that script in the future so that I avoided that repetitive work. And I think that has really helped me in my career to think like that, that, oh, I don't want to do mundane things. I want to get rid of, I want to get rid of the tasks that I do not want to do, both at home and at work. And I want to innovate. So I hope that with this video, I've convinced you that seeking comfort is not always a bad thing.